Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where we're working together step by step through the ABRSM Theory Grades. There are lots of resources available. If you go to my website, if you visit sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets. You can download those in US letter or A4 and they accompany each step of this series. There's also a page with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can access information about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and techniques on how to best prepare for your exam and also how to make the best use of your time when you're working through your exam paper on exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that'd be really fab, and subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And now we're going to continue with the third paper of the 2015 Grade 1 papers. So we're working through paper C, and if you turn with me to page 10, we're going to have a look at question 5. And so as I always say, make sure you've had a go of this yourself. First of all, it doesn't matter if you go a little bit wrong. You can always rub it out. Always work in pencil. I use a nice sharp mechanical pencil, then I haven't got to worry about keep sharpening it. And have a trusty eraser to hand. And then if you go wrong, you can just rub it out and have another go. You perhaps also need a ruler as well, and then you're all set up and ready to go. So I'm hoping you've had a go of question 5, and we'll look through this together now. So we're asked to give the letter name of each of the notes marked with a star. We need to, now they've given us a helpful clue here, including the sharp sign. It's very generous of them to just jog our memory there where necessary. The first answer is given. So they're asking us to include the sharp sound because we've got this key signature of F sharp. So don't forget, if we see a note F, we've got to remember it's an F sharp. They give us the first note, we're in the bass clef, so actually if you get a little bit stuck, you can always work it backwards from this point. So we know that the spaces in the bass clef are all cows eat grass, A, C, E, G. Whatever helps you to remember those. If that's not the instrument that you play, you'll just have to work them out each time. And then the lines, good boys deserve football always, G, B, D, F, A, and so that's just what we've got to do. So this next one, good boys deserve football. However, remember that's not the complete answer, it's an F sharp. So you need to remember the key signature to get full marks there. So carrying on, all cows eat. Alternatively, you could just look, well there's a G. This one is one step down, which must be F sharp. And then one step down again, G, F, E. So you could just work it that way. So then we've got this one here, all cows, that's letter name C. And then one below that, one below C is B, good boys, that's correct. Good boys deserve, there's a D. And then look here, we've already been given this one. So we know that's a G, all cows eat grass, because they've already given us that answer. Next door up a step from that is an A, good boys deserve football always. And then above that A, one more step up is a B. That comes outside the little rhyme. We know that A is the top note, the top line, so one above that is the B. So you've just got to extend your thinking a little bit there. Next part of that question, we're asked to give the time name. So either a crotchet or a quarter note or a quaver or an eighth note, whichever terminology you're used to using, just stick to that. But we need to give the time name of the longest note in the melody. So glancing through, the longest note is this 2-beat note each time, which is a minim or a half note. Either one of those terms will be acceptable. There we go, that's that question completed. So let's move on. So turn the page to page 11 and we'll have a look at question 6. So we're now looking at rest values, and we need to give the corresponding note value. next to each rest, write a note that has the same time value as shown in the first answer. They've positioned the note on the middle line, so it doesn't matter which way the stem goes, if a stem is required at all. However, as they've put the stem going down, we might as well just follow suit. So here, that's a quaver or an eighth note rest with a dot, and so they've put the note version of that, of a quaver or eighth note with a dot. And so, actually, even if you got a little bit stuck, you could just kind of extend and extrapolate from this that they've given us and work out that this will be without a dot. So we're going to need a stem and a tail, but then we need two tails, and that's a semiquaver or a 16th note. No dot though. So even if you were a bit unsure and you couldn't quite remember, you could work out from here how to answer this one. Very often some clues are already given in answers that they've given us. So here, now this is where we can get confused. This is a 2-beat rest, a half note or a minim rest. So we'll just do that now. Not to be confused with the semi-breve rest, the whole note rest, or the full bar rest, which just hangs from the 4th line down. I remember this as the 4th line down, hanging down from the 4th line, is the 4-beat rest. So that's a bit of a clue how to remember which one's which actually answers this question for us. We're hanging down from the 4th line, that's our whole note or semi-breve rest. There we go. That's a crotchet beat rest or a quarter note rest, a 1-beat note. So a stem. And then actually we've kind of got the answer here. That's a quaver beat rest, an 8th note rest. So we need the tail but no dot in this case. And so that's that question answered. Let's move on to the next question. So now we're asked to do a few things here, so just be careful we address every part of this question. We need to add the correct clef and any necessary sharp or flat signs, so we're using accidentals to make each of these scales named below. Do not use key signatures. A key signature won't be required because we've been asked to add the sharp or flat signs as we go along. However, you still need to bear in mind what the key signature would be. But first of all, let's deal with the clef. So D major, of course, must begin and end on a D. So if you feel a bit out of your territory here on this ledger line, we can look at the end note, which we must begin and end on D. And so for this to be a D, good boys deserve must be bass clef. So that's that question. And then that explains this note more easily. You can see there's the D, next door note is our middle C, B, A. Good boys deserve football always. If you find it difficult, just bearing in mind these clefs, because of course it depends which instrument you play, which clef you're more familiar with. You could always write, remember it's descending, so if we write from the bottom D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, and just take the thinking out of that. Now D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps. We already answered that with a key signature in a previous question, so you could just jog your memory looking back. And we know that D major has a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, so if we just put the F sharp and the C sharp, job done. So again, if you weren't sure of this clef, what it might be, we know that it needs to begin on an F, we know that it needs to end on an F, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. And we know that in the treble clef, the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E, and the lines, every good boy deserves football. So that must be treble clef. And then F major has a key signature of B flats, and so we need to put a flat before. Remember that accidentals go before the note. Although you say C sharp or B flat, in music we say sort of flat B or sharp C, sharp F, because if you think about it, you need to know it needs sharpening before you play it. If you put the sharp afterwards or the flat afterwards, you'd play the note and then it's like, oh shucks, that should have been sharpened, or oh, that should have been flattened. So that's why we put the signs first. We write it in a sort of different order musically than when you're writing it in words. So that's that question completed. We'll look at the last question in the next video. I do hope that you're finding this helpful. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that'd be really great. That'd be encouraging to me. And please do subscribe to my channel. Please also do look at sharonbale.com and make use of all of the information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.